Welcome back to the Now Morning Show, this being our Friday edition, and we are continuing a conversation on pan because Pan Angels is on a mission to use our national instrument, the steel pan, to keep the young people away from the streets and away from a life of crime. And this morning, band leader Peter Ralph joins us with a few of his players to discuss the purpose of the band and how he's on a mission to keep them away from negative factors. Mr. Ralph, Peter, good morning. How are you this morning?
I am fine, Mama. I'm fine.
Yeah. Made the trek all the way from Enterprise here this morning. And I see that you brought 3 of your young players in studio with us. But before I get to these lovely young players, I'm coming to you, Mr. Ralph. Pan Angels, tell us a bit about the band.
Well, the band formed in 2014. That was an idea from a young guy called Sibi. He passed now. He was a Sobers. Passed on. So he keeps speaking to me about it. Open a band, open a band, open a band. And then one day we had a gemology, while the drum playing, I said, well, the pans could blend in with this drum, knowing that I am a former captain of the Defense Force.
Right.
So I said, if the band, let's go and get some pan. He said, okay, and we went down to is Meritones and Valley Halves, and we get some pan from them, and it all started from there. You know, and also assisted by a gentleman. I want to say pleasant morning to him, Mr. John Andrews. I know he does hardly see me now, but however, I'm there, and I'm fighting a good fight with the youths and them. You'll see here today. And while we move on to 2015, a lot of youth start observing a lot of youth start getting killed in the village.
And the villages?
Yeah.
In Enterprise?
In Enterprise. So I said, you know what you could do about this? All right, let me take them here. Let me take them under my wing. And so said, so done. And I take them here under my wing, and we move on, and we move on. And, well, first and foremost, I want to say that the band is our unsponsored band. I am the sponsor of the band, you know, and it's a rough road, but a coping slow, but sure. You know, and
Well, Mr. Ralph, before we get into sponsorship, because I know that's one of the important things, tell us about the band. You mentioned that, well, it's a young band, and we could see some of your players here on set with us. Any ever competitions or anything like that?
Yeah. We entered the National Panorama in 2014, 2016, 17, 18. 2019, we were finalists in 19, then this, and so on, and we enter a lot of competitions.
Yes,
we enter bomb competition in San Fernando, Shogunas, and so on. You know, we are active, and band is active. You know, so we doing the thing.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want to go to some of the players. I see we have young Akeem Springer, who looks like he's ready to talk to me. Good morning, Akeem. How are you?
Yes.
Tell me about your position in the pan. What instrument you play?
Tenor.
Tenor. Why were you interested in joining Pan Angels?
Well,
Nice. Okay.
a good time, a good treat.
Yeah. And you intend to continue next year as well? Yeah, nice. Colleen, I want to hear from you. Good morning, Colleen Jeremiah. How are you? Tell us which pan you play. Guitar pan. Ooh, a woman on the guitar pan. Why guitar pan? You like it, does it? Yeah? And of course, yes, and of course, I wanted to, well, thank you so much, Colleen. And I'm coming back to you, Mr. Ralph, because, I mean, we have these young players, and you keep talking about the young players that you have, and of course, how you are trying to keep them away from the negative factors in Enterprise. But why did you use PAN? I know some people would use, you know, certain, they would use workshops, they would use maybe an art sort of painting type of instruction, but you use PAN. Why?
A lot of people gravitate to music, first and foremost. Young people like music, play the music. Sometimes, you know, sometimes they come in the yard and they're going down a certain road with music. I say, no, not here.
Yes.
You know, and I keep it real with them understand Them know what I stand for, and we have a good relationship. They don't have anything they want. Well, in fact, I do a lot in the back there. I buy books. A lot of people know that. I outfit children to go to school. Sometimes some of them going to school with a lunch bag and nothing in it. You know, I sit by Mr. Pecos there and I order, I give them this, give them that, and fold the lunch bag. They have a lunch bag, they're well kit off going to school, and nothing in the lunch bag. Yeah. And this is the thing that's going on in the village as we speak.
In Enterprise.
In Enterprise.
Do you get any pushback from some of the negative forces in the community, you know, based on what you're doing?
Well, yes, a lot of people go on. Well, a lot of people go on stating that I take the children money, I spend the children money, and all these lovely things. But I don't have them to take on, because what I am saying is they just doesn't know. There's some parents, children that we hear them don't come in the panyard. You know, I'm stating, and I also want to thank Mr. Regis. I have to thank Mr. Regis for holding out the guy with Regis Garage. I have to thank him for holding out with us and believing in me, you know, because they have a lot of negatives behind. But from the cloth I cut from, that can't keep me back.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let's see if we can bring in Mr. Theodore Dillon. Theodore, good morning. How are you this morning? Tell us which pan you play. You play the lower seconds. Okay. How is it? Put the mic to your mouth a bit for me. Nice. So tell us why that as opposed to the bass or let's say the tenor pan.
Well, I find the low seconds to be a simple pan, and I found out I had an affinity for it.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Affinity for it. I love it. And tell us why you joined Pan Angels. Did you always like pan in that sense?
Yes. When I was in school, I found out that I had a passion for music, and so I decided to take up that chance, and I joined Pan Angels.
Nice. How old are you, Theodore?
I am 13.
13, nice. Okay, good. So you're going back out to school next week, Monday?
Yes,
You're ready for school?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Colleen, I'm coming to you. Tell us about your experience so far in the band. Do you think it's hard learning pan? Do you pick up the notes easily? How it is?
It is easy.
It's easy? Yeah? And I'm coming to you, Akeem. What do you think as well?
It's easy.
Everybody just find it easy? You're making me want to play pan. Pan is not easy? So how do you learn the notes? Like, can you read music and learn the notes and stuff?
No.
Tell us, Colleen.
Not really.
Not really. So how do you pick up the notes? Do you listen to the coach and pick it up and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Nice. Mr. Ralph, you seem to have an enthusiastic bunch here, and I'm wondering what age do you allow members? And tell us the youngest player to the oldest player.
Well, that is very simple. When I entered Panorama in 19, I had a player who entered the Panorama, she was age 4. So she turned 5 in the competition.
Wow.
You know?
Yes.
So from 4 years on, I could say, I want to go to the toilet. You could bring a child by me.
Yes.
Yeah, some people say that daycare center I have and all these. I don't mind that, you know, but I make sure they're by me, they're safe, and I teach them the correct thing was passed down to me. I pass it down to them.
And I know you would have mentioned competitions, but one of the places I saw the band perform was, of course, behind the bridge for the Pan celebration, when we would have commemorated World Steel Pan Day on August 11th. Will you continue to enter the children, not just in competitions, but in also to get that sort of exposure so people know who Pan Angels is?
Well, yes, that I will be going on that journey with them. That was in World Steel Band Day.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, as I said, thanks to the president of Pan Bago, you know, for having that trust in me.
Yeah.
You know, because she came by our band, she now picked up the mantle, and she ended up purchasing a drum set for us.
Oh.
I have to give her that thanks still, you know, and she see the ability and the road that I taken with the youths, and she was there to assist and still assisting.
Yeah.
And I thanks God for having her, you know, and things happening.
Yeah. Well, before we go, Theodore, coming back to you, just to tell us why should someone join Pan Angels?
Angels, because if you think you like music and you have a passion for it, you should follow that goal. And so invitations are going out. Come to Enterprise. We will be waiting for you.
Nice. And take it home, Mr. Ralph. Tell us where we can contact you if anybody is listening and they want to, donate to the band.
Well, the band is at Ballast Trace Enterprise. My number is 294-1990. The secretary number is 6681 4671. That's the secretary number. So you could call that number if you want to get on to us and you have your interested for your child or your children to come to the band room and learn the national instrument. We are there to teach them.
Waiting and ready.
Waiting and ready to teach them.
Well, Mr. Ralph, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Special good morning, of course, going out to your players, Akeem, Curleen, and Theodore, and everybody who's at home watching, because I know the full complement. They're not here right now, but I know they're probably watching. So thank you so much. All the best to Pan Angels, and we look forward to see them coming red and ready, and of course, strong and ready in 2024.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that, of course, was Mr. Peter Ralph, the band leader at Pan Angels, and 3 of his members just sharing about the importance of the band right there in Enterprise and how maybe you can join your children in that band to keep them away from a life of crime. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a break and be right back. Stay with us.